Everyone who watched the event found it hard to believe. And even on Friday, when the plane carrying the Egyptian team that would prepare the visit landed, even then we were afraid that perhaps it was all an illusion at the expense of the greatest of our hopes, the hope for peace. On Friday, the papers wrote, "The first swallow is here." But the skeptics said, one swallow does not make a summer. But perhaps one plane will bring peace. As things usually go in the diplomatic world, a visit like this is prepared weeks, sometimes months in advance. But here, on top of the already intense excitement, came the incredibly short notice, though in fact we'd been waiting for this moment for 30 years. Thousands took part in the race against time to get things ready. And if the ceremony belonged to the realm of statecraft, the frantic preliminaries definitely belonged to the people. This city, Jerusalem, has known many flags in its streets. But this time, alongside the Israeli flag, it raised a banner we had never seen. Nor was it business as usual. A week ago, who would have bought a replica of the Egyptian flag? Today, it's commonplace. Ben Gurion International Airport, Saturday evening, the 19th of November, 1977. If there is such a thing as the very beating of the wings of history, at this moment it was surely heard by those whose senses are attuned to such things. To see the central figure was more difficult. Perhaps because if human chronicles were once carved into stone, today they are documented by the click of cameras, And the chroniclers, the cameramen, refused to give up their angles, so they just forced their way into the picture. Why hide it? Mohammed Anwar el-Sadat won our hearts at, you might say, first sight. Suddenly we discovered in him traits we hadn't seen from afar, maybe even some that we wanted to see in him. That happened at his first moment on Israeli soil, when he walked between the president and the prime minister. And yes, he is moved, as we are. And he is very human, very close. Even before the broadcast of the airport ceremony ends, many are already waiting along the route of the convoy. Multitudes want to get even a split-second glimpse of him, maybe just to convince themselves again that it is all really happening. Israel had already hosted within its bounds presidents and kings, and received them with honor and dignity. But this time, the president of Egypt was accorded more than the rules of protocol. He was received with warmth and a spirit of goodwill, and he witnessed genuine joy.
At Cairo Airport, Sadat's cabinet, members of the Egyptian National Assembly, and diplomats were on hand for the official greeting. There was a flyover by jet fighter planes to mark the return of the Egyptian president to Cairo. Sadat was smiling and waved as he walked down the ramp to greet his vice president, cabinet ministers, and military commanders. The government was anxious to put on a public display of unity to offset any impression that the cabinet was split following the resignation of Foreign Minister Kamel, who disagreed with Sadat over the Camp David negotiations. Sadat, accompanied by his vice president and surrounded by bodyguards, rode in an open car during the 12-mile trip from the airport to the presidential palace in downtown Cairo. Tens of thousands of wildly cheering Egyptians lined the entire motorcade route. They waved banners and pictures of Sadat and chanted, "Long live Sadat, man of peace." Thousands of police and soldiers were needed to hold back the crowds. At one point, enthusiastic Egyptians closed in on the president's car and had to be fended off by bodyguards. Security was extremely tight. A military helicopter shadowed the entire motorcade route. Several times, people rushed past police in an effort to touch the president. This man was trying to deliver a note. Police were especially uneasy today because of threats made against Sadat by some Arab leaders opposed to the Camp David agreement.
President Sadat may not be very popular with some of the hardline Arab states, but as this demonstration has shown, he is very...